Okay, I'm delighted to be speaking with Craig Reid, and we're looking at the topic of business processes. Hello, Craig.
Hello, Robert.
So, Craig, come on, processes in small business, do we need them?
Of course we do. What, did you expect me to say anything else? But
I didn't really know.
But really, no, I think that processes for small businesses are just as important as any size of business. In fact, more so. The reliance on one person having all the processes and all the knowledge of their business in their head is an extremely dangerous thing indeed.
Which, of course, absolutely describes how a lot of small businesses are. So how do we go about changing that? What should we be doing?
Look, it's as simple as basically coming up with somehow to either document those processes, record those processes. I mean, it could be a number of different ways. You could have things documented on paper and a laptop. You could draw a picture, you could film it, you could sound record it. You can do whatever you want as long as you actually are doing it.
So, Craig, when you're going into a business and maybe you're effectively having to kind of retrofit processes to a business that's already going, I mean, is that harder than doing it from the outset?
It can be more difficult because people have already established habits and sometimes bad habits at that point. It's like teaching an old dog new tricks, effectively. Often, if you start out at the beginning, when you're going through that learning curve, that learning phase, setting up, for example, a new business, if you can go through that phase of capturing all the information at that stage, it certainly makes it easier.
It's going to save you time
in the long term. Yeah.
So, Craig, now you have some tips for us, I think, that can help us kind of get started with processes.
Okay. The biggest tip I would say is always keep in mind the customer experience. So whatever processes you're developing or documenting, always relate those back to the customer.
Okay.
And some of the most important things to remember when you're looking at processes is three things. There's moments of truth, which is any interaction with the customer, be it a person-to-person interaction or a computer system interacting with the customer. It could be any kind of interaction that affects that customer's experience of your business.
So you call that the moment of truth?
Moment of truth, yeah. It's a term developed by a guy called Jan Carlson, who used to run Scandinavian Airlines and successfully transformed that business into a really profitable company from being down in the doldrums.
Okay.
The other thing to think about is breakpoints.
Right.
Which is in any process, there are a number of breakpoints, which is essentially a handoff to someone else. So it could be a handoff between yourself and a supplier, or a handoff between staff, and there you've got a potential for things to go wrong.
Okay, and also that's the area, I suppose, as you say in the start and also the handover bit is where consistency is so key, is so important, isn't it?
That's right.
Yeah, okay. And your next tip?
Business rules, which is essentially any part of the process where there's a decision to be made. Decisions, as we know, can be complex, they can slow things down, they can cause problems. So really, it's about taking each of those things, looking for the moments of truth, the breakpoints and the business rules, and actually, where possible, eliminating them.
Okay.
And if you can't eliminate them, you improve them.
Okay, fantastic. All right. Well, look, now if we want to find out more about your work, you've got a wonderful business name, The Process Ninja.
That's right.
Yes, and your website is?
It's www.theprocessninja.com.
Okay, well, thank you very much for introducing us to the world of processes and for joining us, Craig.
Thank you very much.